Hey guys, Steve here with Belt of Truth. I got Seth Taylor on the line. Seth is a blogger at Triple X Church and author of the soon to come out Feels Like Redemption. I'm about halfway through the book right now, and it's awesome. So I am excited for it. And at the end here, Seth will tell you where to find it. But before we get to that, Seth, I just want to ask you, what's the one piece of advice you would give to somebody struggling with porn addiction?
I I think that it has to do with this kind of central core question. I think everybody that's dealing with pornography addiction or any type of addiction or depression or anxiety, these questions has this kind of basic question they're asking. And some of the people are asking, why me? And some people are asking, this question about what does God want from me? And they have this kind of paradigm of God, or especially those of us in the Christian church that have dealt with this stuff or are dealing with it. I think it's a matter of changing that central question. Yeah, and this might have been something, I know you and Paul talked, the idea of what are we medicating? If we can shift to this understanding that porn isn't the problem, porn is this reality that exists because we created it. You know what I mean? That industry exists because we created it. We demanded it. It was birthed out of our own pain. And we created this drug, to medicate our pain. So it's the medication. And so the question is, what are we medicating? And I think that if we come to this point where we can stop viewing the external world as the issue and we start to go internal, and I believe this is when Jesus said, we seek the kingdom of God, right? And then everything will come to us, this idea. And he said, the kingdom of God is within you. It's all around us. It's over us, in us, through us, and it's in us. I think if we come to this point where we start to seek that idea, where we feel that what's going on inside, even to this point where we go, man, for some reason I've always got these knots in my stomach, or I got this tightness in my chest, and we start to recognize that there's a repressed energy in our bodies, there's repressed emotions, there's pain essentially that we are carrying and we have been carrying for a long time, and it lives in our unconscious, and we medicate that over and over and over again. There's something inside of us that is demanding that drug, and some people medicate with other things. I got a buddy that I wrote about this in the book. He medicates with, his big thing is chew, tobacco. He had an issue. His wife caught him looking at porn, and she freaked out, and she got really upset with him, and they had this whole kind of blow up. And him and I were talking. He goes, the thing is, he goes, it was easy for me to quit that. Once she kind of nailed me on that. And I was just like, yeah, you're right. I got to stop that. And he stopped. He said, but I can't do chew. I can't stop chew. He said, if she asked, but she's never asked me to stop chew. He said, because he started to adopt this paradigm. What am I medicating? And he realized chew was the thing he was really medicating with. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so he dropped porn just like that, but he can't quit chewing. I was talking about the other day. He's like, yeah, I'm still doing it. And we have these socially acceptable drugs, right? We have these things that everybody's okay with, but porn isn't. And so we have it. That's kind of the way we understand it. And so I just think that if we ask that question, what are we medicating, and we're willing to dive into that, I think that actually can lead us to a really, really life-giving place. And all the guilt and the shame is just simply not helpful. So I would tell people, and I've sat across from people and said, listen, hey, all this guilt and this shame that you have, is really feeling terrible about this, we need to just while you're working on this, let's take a vacation from that. Just stop. Don't worry about it. Right? You're gonna mess up through this process. You're gonna do this. It's okay. Let's ask the real question. Let's get past this and ask the real question. Stop viewing yourself through such a judgmental lens. And when you do that, I think that it actually can really kind of flip this whole thing on its head, as the philosophers would say, and and turn it into something where it's a productive. All of a sudden, we're asking the right questions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Honestly, I couldn't agree more. I think that's key. Thanks for sharing that with us, Seth.
Yeah.
Tell people where can they find out more about you and your ministry and your books and all that.
So I was blogging. I used to blog at a site. It's still up, but it's called pornpilgrim.com. And I've got a bunch of old blogs on there. But I started blogging with triplexchurch.com, and that's where you can find my stuff right now. I've probably posted 8 to 10 blogs on there now. And we are actually working on a new site. So if you go to mypilgrimage.com, because the subtitle of the book is The Pilgrimage to Health and Healing. And what we're trying to do is give people this paradigm that this is walking through this is not a battle. It's not a war. It's actually a sacred journey. It's a pilgrimage, and it's something that can really lead to amazing things. And so at mypilgrimage.com, we have a trailer for the book up there, and it's a placeholder where you can sign up for a free preview of the video series that we're going to launch. We have a guidebook that's going to be coming out. So just in a few months, we're going to see all this material launch, and hopefully we're going to help a lot of people. So mypilgrimage.com is the place to go for that, and then you can find my writing at triplexchurch.com.
Right on. And guys, all those links will be in the show notes for this video as well as in the video description, so you don't have to remember all that.
Right
And
on.
yeah, so Seth, thanks again for your time, and
Yeah, thank you.
good luck with your ministry. Thanks for all you're doing for the kingdom.
Yeah, appreciate it, Stephen. Thanks,
Okay.
man.
Later.
All right.